T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to the Play It By Ear podcast. The podcast where the topics may vary because, hey, we play it by ear. And now your hosts, Eric Fiskus, Brady Liming, and Todd Griffin.
Brady, you doing a bushwhacker thing there or what?
No, actually, I was doing the idols at the end of Adventure Express at Kings Island when you go up the hill. Don't you remember that? Man?
Yeah.
You lost me.
No, this is the bushwhackers. Your elbows have to be, that way. But I was doing the Adventure Express.
Yeah, when you're the part right at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was always such a big letdown because you thought there was going to be a really big drop when you went through it and it just coasted the exit.
That whole ride was pretty lame.
Tame lame.
I don't.
Tame lame.
I don't even know.
Yeah, it was the one that was Indiana Jones themed, kind of.
Yeah, it was a family coaster, so it was thrilling enough that you could put little utes on it, but it wouldn't make them hurl. It was just, like a wild mine ride.
Gotcha.
And Eric, you'd be happy to know that at no point in time did your rear end go above your head.
That is a rule of mine. That is my credo, one of my credos. May my anus never be above my head. So let it be said, so let it be written.
So saith the shepherd.
Oh, saith the flock.
It would sound better if you, so let it be written, so let it be said, shall my anus never reach above my head. That would
There you go.
sounds much more official that way.
Credos.
Oh, my.
Welcome, as we go off on a tangent already. Welcome to episode 96 of the Play It By Ear podcast. So over under on the number of times, we'll add Allison's to that. Have you heard today? May the 4th be with you.
Hello, Allison. May the 4th be with you.
Rebecca, welcome.
Yes.
Savannah's with us.
Savannah. My cousin Rebecca, all the way up in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Give me some cheese. All right. Want to remind you as we go into episode 96 of our 100th episode, which is creeping upon us. And Brady, thank you very much. Made a poster so I could show this on the screen, complete with date and times of our 100th episode. Sunday, June 5th, from 5 to 8 p.m. at Sons of Toil Brewing on Klein Road. Toil. Get it? We're going to do some toiling there on June 5th. On Klein Road in Mount Orb. You can look them up on Facebook. You search out Sons of Toil and get all the information about that. You can have some adult Kool-Aid and enjoy the podcast. So, hope to see everyone there. Please, there is a Facebook invite out there, or a Facebook event on our Facebook page. Please, at least if you might have a plan on coming, go in there and click that you're interested anyway, so we can kind of get a count of what we might be expecting there.
Be kind of like a wedding, one part of the crowd's like people from my scope, and each one of us, we see it like a wedding where the people that we invite personally get seated on one side of the beer
So
hall.
Should we have ushers?
Yes,
go.
they shall be
are you-
ushed.
Are you with Brady, Todd, or Eric? That could be a little contest. Who brings in the most earbuds to our little
There would be
soiree?
there would be a lot of people torn, I'm assuming, and like a lot of people like not knowing where to. So do you count if they knew you guys before me?
Well, I don't know.
Nah.
Most of our earbuds have the great misfortune of knowing all of us.
That's what I was getting ready to say. So you got to count. You got to go by something.
Yes. Thank you, Kirsten, for claiming us.
Good for the dad joke. Why
Oh.
tail feathers to hide their butt quack.
uh,
Yuck, yuck, yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
uh,
Ooh, Kirsten. Kirsten's with all three of us.
Hello, Kirsten.
Kirsten.
Nice to have you.
Well,
If you have not introduced yourself, checked in, please do so, or I guess you can linger about in the shadows if you so desire. But we welcome all of you here. If you've not been here before, we will each talk about a topic. Actually, my topic generally is the game of the night, and I will round things out. But Brady will be first, Todd will be the middle segment, and I will round things out, as I said. We'll talk 20-ish minutes on each topic, more on the ish than the 20. Try to give some sort of confines to this show, although we rarely adhere to the confines. But,
Eric will administer the discipline to keep us loosely.
Discipline my children for that.
get the key ring. Get the key ring.
The key ring, or I don't know what else. Get a spray bottle out and just start misting the camera, or a can of pennies.
Peppermint spray in the face.
Yeah,
Pennies.
Hey, you guys would have been proud of me the other day. I have two cats that are indoor outdoor. This is a dog household, but my little girl does love the cats, and they're fixed and they come and go as they please. But there was a cat that is not a stray, but it is a neighborhood Siamese that came to feast upon the fancy victuals that I had placed on the back deck for my cats. So when I opened up the door, I was going, "Skia, skia, skia, skill out of here, skill out of here."
Welcome, Treva. John Whitney, joining live from a van down by the river.
Most people I wouldn't believe, but I believe John probably is in the Ozark Mountains somewhere.
Probably is.
He probably is.
You never take me with you, John. I don't get it.
Say hi to Jason Bateman.
That's right.
Oh yeah, good show. Ozark,
Very good show.
Very good show.
Near or far, Celine Dion? Who would know? She didn't even know.
No.
Right.
No.
Brady.
Yeah.
You have the floor.
Step up.
Proceed, sir.
I shall, sir. Point of order. Okay, so I'm going to do a topic that Eric actually found this, and it's on moneywise.com. We did not discuss it. I will be full disclosure. He said this is a possible topic, but we did not discuss it, did we, gentlemen?
No.
So this is new to all of us. But this topic is from the MoneyWise article, Boomer Skills That Are Becoming Obsolete. Now, before I start...
Why do I feel myself getting crotchety already? Just by the title of this article.
This is going to turn us all into OCCs, the original old OOCs, the original old coots. I'm going to enter cootum on this.
All right, Brady. See how cranky you can make us here.
How curmudgeonly we can be. So, and I do want to put this disclaimer. There got to be a thing a couple years ago where millennials on social media, if you said something that they thought was too old fashioned, they'd go, "Okay, boomer." And then people started misusing it. And I always said, I'm a nonviolent man. I have never been in fisticuffs in my life. But if somebody in a fit of anger said, "Okay, boomer," I cannot guarantee their safety. I would.
You realize that you just invited anyone to say that at our 100th episode.
Yes, I know.
Don't
I
worry,
could
audience.
take it
We
in
will-
jest.
We will hold him back.
So someone's going to come to the 100th episode and go, "Okay, boomer." And
I
Brady's
will
gonna throw
fly
down
across
the
that table like Jimmy Superfly Snuka
That's
and
right.
land upon them. So here comes the first one, the skills that are becoming obsolete, and that is reading a map, a paper map, having a Rand McNally paper map on a trip. We still teach. I'm a 5th grade social studies teacher. We still do some map skills and everything. But I actually thought this year's like, man, how much longer am I going to be doing this because it's becoming obsolete?
Did you get them paper maps?
We had an atlas. We were doing a latitude longitude race. You know.
Now this one doesn't get me fired up too much because I agree with this one.
Yeah.
While I think map skills are always going to be important, I don't know that maps themselves, paper maps,
Map skills,
paper maps, and I do think that there's nothing like trying to navigate a vehicle when there's a 4x4 sheet of paper spread out across the dash and the gear shift. And yeah.
My dad driving the Shasta RV through Atlanta in rush hour traffic and seeing which one was and having to get that out and like unfold it while cars are whizzing by.
Were you in the water closet at the time?
I was not. That's a different episode.
There's no wonder dads were always so cranky on vacations. I mean, trying to deal with paper maps.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like you could read them yourself, so you're relying on someone else to read a paper map for you, and then, very frustrating.
Brady, I abhor you, Brady, to do a map exercise with your students. Give them paper maps. Watch them try to fold said paper maps. Hilarity will ensue.
Here, I'll do this. I'll put them on one of those scooters, the PE scooters, where one has to push one on the PE scooter while the one on the scooter has their map out, trying to find. Yes, so
kids,
then,
you don't know the struggle,
and then watch their blood pressure shoot up to boomer age. So, but yeah, map skills, that makes total sense. Okay, next one. Driving a stick shift.
Yes.
Driving a stick shift.
I never did see much of a point in it, but it was like a manhood thing. Like you had your manhood questioned if you couldn't drive a stick shift.
Correct, and that's what I learned to drive on because the old '76 Pinto and the '82 Mercury Lynx both were stick shifts. Oh, and wait a minute. Yes, the Ford Ranger truck.
Really?
We had two. They were all stick shift. So I did not own an automatic until I bought my own car after I got out of college.
Well, now
my own new car.
Let's provide some context here, Brady. Mousy bought stick shift cars because it saved gas mileage.
And
not only that, but he also enjoyed being a red light racer, where he would pull up. And then there'd be the red light, and he couldn't resist the urge to go and start like
Brady. It seems like I remember. So when would have you been? Would I have known you yet when you were still driving stick shifts? Because it seems like I remember riding in a vehicle with you having to
truck. Yes.
Okay, probably the truck.
I remember us going to the drive-in once and using the truck bed to watch movies.
Gotcha.
Nothing
like when you miss the gear or whatever, and it just does that vibration thing for everybody in the car and makes that terrible sound.
Grind them till you find
them. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The only time I ever drove one was I think a couple of my buddies had drove stick shifts, but I was thrown to the wolves one time in a job I had and had to go across town in like a dump truck or some sort of truck like that, and was the worst idea to put me behind the wheel to drive that thing. I was scared to death. I think I quit the job when I got back.
Oh, that's rough.
So
that's
shaky.
Rough.
Cause...
All right, so comments. Johnny, reading a map consists of looking at a picture. How can that skill be lost?
There's
see what you're saying.
abstracts. Yeah, I see what you mean. But
I
as
think
a social studies teacher, it is a skill.
Again, I think it's paper maps.
Yeah.
That's what they're talking about. Now those pictures are just on your phone or on your
Yeah.
navigation system.
And the phone tells you where to go.
Yeah.
Treva says, I can't do it. Take the red road to the blue road. Who knew the blue road was a river? No, that's a fair assessment. So go on, John, go on. Still about 50% in the UK are manual gears. So I must ask, John, I assume your name's John. Are you in the UK right now? That
I would love to know this. I was wondering that myself.
That would be outstanding. We would
That'd
like
be
to
amazing.
give you a proper welcome if that's where
Yes.
you are. Not that we wouldn't welcome you anyway, but
And that's an interesting statistic right there. I would like to know if there's a reason. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
is to have some more information about that. Go ahead.
I know. I'm waiting with bated breath for John to comment on this, or I should say, go on, John.
yeah. Well, you can go on, Brady. He'll get around to us, I'm sure.
The next one is writing in cursive. Writing in cursive.
You're going to fire up the Facebook folks, Brady. This is
Oh,
something
yeah.
All I can say about that is anyone complaining about the cursive writing has never tried to grade 40 essays written in cursive from fourth graders. I don't mind my kids practicing cursive, and I always ask them. I tell them they should be able to sign their name, and I let them practice in cursive, but I would not let them write essays and things like that in cursive.
Yeah, that gets a bit maddening.
Yeah, I'll fully admit that may be a bit.
So here's an unintended consequence of not writing in cursive, not being able to read cursive.
Yeah.
And again, and Brady, you mentioned social studies teacher. If you're looking at founding documents such as the Declaration of Independence or the Constitution written in cursive, I mean, kids can't read it because they don't write it.
Yeah.
I'm an adult. Well, I guess I should say chronologically, but I can't read. I have a struggle to read founding documents in cursive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's a different kind of cursive too.
Yeah.
I had to. I can't remember which test it was, but I don't know what they called them. But the test I had to take to pass to become a teacher, what I'm talking about.
The practice.
I had to take a language arts one, a social studies one, and then just an overall teaching one. But I remember on the days of those tests, I show up at the testing center, and you have to sign this paper. It's kind of like when you go to the doctor. And the bottom had a paragraph, and you had to copy the paragraph in cursive. I to this day don't know why, but I'm going to tell you I struggled. I mean, because I have been my cursive is so terrible. I print most of the time, and I really struggled sitting there writing that, copying that paragraph in cursive. It's definitely a skill that if you don't use, you lose.
Oh, absolutely. My hand cramps if I go beyond my name much.
Yeah. But with that being said, I still don't have a problem with eventually it just being. I think there's a lot more important things to worry and get ourselves all fired up about than the next generation not being able to write in cursive.
Exactly.
So John gave us an answer. Yes, he is in the UK. At the time he made that message 2 minutes ago, it was 12:17 a.m. So John is watching us tomorrow.
Wow.
Near Liverpool. John, you're not going to believe this, but my neighbor across the street, she is a Liverpudlian. She married a Cincinnati guy, and she is from Liverpool. So,
Small
cool.
world.
Welcome, John.
Yes. He also goes on to say most cars till say about 2000 would have been manual. Not sure the reasons. Maybe smaller cars, less weight, simple with manual gearbox. Most people opt to take license to drive stick, full license, or have an auto-only license. So you have two kinds of licenses. That's interesting.
Yeah, that is.
And my last question for John, Everton or Liverpool? I'll wait for his answer.
Sounds like
Rebecca talks about cursive. She doesn't even teach it in fourth grade anymore. And Allison says Europe has a lot of standard shift cars. That's what she's referred vehicles. Husband's truck is a standard, much cheaper that way.
Yeah, I assume most people over here anyway bought them to save money.
So
Yeah.
John was referring to your neighbor. She escaped. Are things not good near Liverpool, John? Sometimes I wonder how good they are here. But
Okay, now this next one, number 4. This one is probably going to get our
Poked?
inner bears and our audience bear poking.
Okay.
So this is traditional grammar, and I'm going to have to read what they say here. Unless we're talking about Latin, language is constantly evolving, so is grammar. An article published by Reader's Digest discussed a few significant changes. For one, the use of cell phones with their emojis and acronyms have shortened many people's written communication style. And extra letters add emphasis. So I'm fine, FIIIIIINE. So since you can't hear it, you're texting it that I'm fine. So it's kind of like, and Eric, you're laughing,
you know what I just thought of?
What?
I thought of Dumb and Dumber. I want to use the phone.
Punch. So, this is true, and I had to tell students, it's like, hey guys, on these questions, please don't type in texties. I call it texties. So as long as I don't make a mistake. But anyway,
I was gonna say,
texticles.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle on this one.
You're in the middle.
I don't have a problem with the standards loosening up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a problem with just letting it go all the way. I don't think we should let kids write fine. I don't think we should, I don't think that should replace.
Or on an essay test, they answer IDK.
Yeah.
For Pete's sake, write it out if you don't know,
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Other comments. Treva says the younger generation struggle with their signature because they did not learn cursive. That is true.
That is true.
John says neither because he does not like football.
Interesting.
That being the sport that most of the world calls football, which we call soccer.
Man, I really like John.
And he also says not so much anti-disestablishmentarianism recently.
Whoa, hang on a minute here, John. Slow your roll, player.
I was gonna say you've gone well above the IQ of this show with that word.
Don't make me break out supercalifragilistic, whatever the rest of it is.
Or because he will render us to be like Australopithecus afarensis. Those are the cave people, the little 2-foot cave people. That's always my favorite when I learned from college zoology.
Yeah, we kid, John. Very impressive word. We just
yes,
we're just not very bright.
Joey says since it's Star Wars Day, can the cast please sing the Cantina song using doo-doo-doos?
There you go. That's as good as it gets.
Yeah, that's right.
Joey.
Anyway,
Brady's phone's in a Benny Hill ditty there.
that would be so. Okay, number 5 on the boomer skills that are becoming obsolete is sewing. And I would like to go one farther here. I think the skill of being able to sew a rip in your clothing or some kind of object, that's never going to go away. I think what they mean sewing is, getting the pattern, cutting out the clothing, actually making it with a sewing machine.
I don't know. I think I don't know if people would even sew a hole in their clothing much anymore. I think they just go buy something else.
Throw it away and buy something else.
We live in a disposable society,
and we live in we want it and can get it right now.
Yes, and I mean, my goodness, how do we get by without being able to darn a sock?
Oh, I darn them all the time. I can't find the other one, and I start saying darn a lot.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Darn that sock. Where is it? But you're used to the word darn there. That's amazing. I'd forgotten about that word, actually.
Thank you.
Let's see. Let's go on to the next one. Now, it's an obsolete skill. I don't like the way they included this, but we get it. And that's using a landline.
Again, the struggle, the kids do not know the struggle. And I just have
now I know what you're thinking, Eric.
What am I thinking?
You're thinking dial up, like a dial phone. I think this just means actually having a landline as opposed to just going. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
but I want to go beyond that because kids don't know the struggle because at my house in the mid '80s we had a party line.
This harkens back to, was this the first episode of the entire podcast? I think we talked about
pretty near that.
Yeah,
pretty near that. So just to refresh everyone's memory, and maybe people in the room know what a party line is. Essentially, my house was connected to the house across the street in a phone line, and you could pick up your phone sometimes, and the other people across the street would be having a conversation. So you could not make a call until they hung up.
Oh, man.
Mid 1980s.
J. Edgar Hoover was still hanging on. He was so the man could listen.
And had a rotary dial.
But there is one thing I do miss, and this has been, well documented. Kids will never know the joy of being angry and hanging up the phone, slamming it down.
That's true.
Because this isn't the same.
Right.
Well, remember the days of speaking of the dial when you would be mid twist and your finger would slip out and it would slip.
Oh, you fat
so then you didn't know whether it
slip right. Yeah.
You didn't know whether it counted or not.
You may be calling Saskatchewan.
Or you just you either just try to, then you draw an extra number and then you'd have to. I mean, granted, you knew pretty quickly, but I just remember because you didn't have much depth to put your finger in there, so it would slip out a lot. No, especially if you were nervous calling your girlfriend or something.
Yeah, and there's a good case in point. Maybe that slick plastic if you had the sweaty hands thing going on because you're nervous and it slipped out.
Because you're afraid her dad's going to answer.
Right.
For the 10th time that night.
Oh, yeah, and that's true too. The landline, pretty much if you call a cell phone, you know who's going to answer.
Yeah.
Landline, you just didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
That is true. That is true. Man, you know what? You bring up a great point. There is nothing like the anxiety of calling and not knowing who was going to pick up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was puke inducing.
And you just, even if dads were nice, they just somehow weren't on that phone call. They never were like, "Hey, it's great to hear from you, Todd. I'll run and get her right away. She's been waiting on your call." It's always like you don't really know if they're going to come back to the phone. They may just sit the phone down. Yeah.
So did you actually get greeted like that by a girl's father? Oh yes, she's been waiting on your call.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like even if they were a nice guy, they had to just be mean when they answered the phone. It was just like it was their duty.
Yeah.
Like, what you ring?
What do you want?
Oh man.
Got several comments here. Joey, thank you. You are a legend indeed as well.
Thank you, Joey.
Joey, you're too kind.
Treva says, sewing, I can do it, but it ain't purty. Gary, I still sew rips in clothing, but Amazon probably delivers faster. That is a fact.
True.
Treva also says the struggle of waiting for your neighbor to get off the phone. Now, did either one of you two have a party line?
Oh, I didn't know.
Brady,
I heard of it as thing. I saw it. The only way I knew of a party line was through like TV shows. You were the only person I knew that had one, so I never got to experience that.
So was it a party line, or was it just some illegal goings on?
No, it was an actual party line.
Okay.
It was because of lack of a switchboard. There was a reason for it.
This isn't like stealing your neighbor's cable or something, right?
No.
No.
We're not hatched into the neighbor's phone line and getting what was it even called back then? It wasn't AT&T. What was our phone service called?
Bell, Cincinnati Bell.
We were not Cincinnati Bell.
We were AT&T.
Were we 18?
There used to only be one.
Well,
then it went to
Or CG&E now?
At some point, wasn't Sprint a landline, or was that only cell?
No, that was only cell.
Yeah.
Weren't there two bells? Like two.
Well, there were a lot of bells.
Well, but I mean, like we had there local.
Oh,
There was Cincinnati Bell, and it seemed like there was another.
I don't know. Could
Yeah.
be. Gary says party line equals group chat. So yeah, that'd be a good way to explain it to the youths.
True.
Yeah, Jim. Try watching a kid use a rotary phone, kind of what we just talked about there. We couldn't hardly use them, and we had them.
Oh yeah.
John, can you say the longest name of any railway station in Britain? And I can't even.
Wow, I was going to say I
Holy
can't say the name of
mackerel.
any.
John, I'm going to use an Americanism here. That whatever that name is needs to buy a vowel or two or three.
Well,
There
were lots of vowels actually. There were
in weird places.
Yeah,
I could get go goach or go
I got land.
gotch.
I got land at the beginning.
But
Treva, hang it up, Carol. I need to call my friend. Treva, did you have a party line? So I mean, you sound like you understand
she knew what
the
she was
struggle
speaking
there.
of. Yeah.
Becky, welcome. Sorry
Hey,
your
Becky.
daughter was ill. Hope she's doing better.
So I could see if you were like a bunch of teenagers had a party line, I could see that being pretty useful and pretty fun. But
Yeah.
True.
Group chat.
Well, and John brings up that point kind of here. He says, how about someone else in the house listening to your phone conversation? Yeah, so you could, if you're on the landline, you're talking to someone can pick up another phone in the house and listen to your conversation without
yes,
you
if you were a responsible parent, you did that. You had to listen in on your kids' phone conversations.
Or better yet, there's always references to this in like old sitcoms about the town spinster, and she would sit on the party line and listen to other people's conversations
Yeah.
and gossip about it at the ice cream social.
I think John means though within your own house, like your sister
Oh, yeah.
or your brother could get on the phone or something, or again, your parents.
Yeah, John or Joey, we'll plug your show here. Tommy Chong going to be on Square Table Degenerates at Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern.
So if you're a fan of Cheech and Chong movies or is in Tommy Chong's comedy, and we all love Joey.
That is awesome, Joey. I did not know that. That's
That's
very
amazing.
Cool. That's a great score there, Joey.
Joey, I'm only 50. I know about party lines. No one under 70. I
course,
know you live up in civilization in Cleveland, so you probably didn't have many party lines up there. But I lived in Sardinia, Ohio. We still had party lines in the mid 80s.
Of course, if it weren't for the phones we grew up with, we wouldn't have one of Chuck Griffin's greatest frustrated lines ever. Every time I hear that phone, it's ringing. No shit, Dad.
Well, don't say that. He'll come to the screen. Oh man.
I bet he doesn't even remember that.
All right, Brady, continue.
Okay, I shall continue on. Sorry, I was being transfixed by comments and I lost my focus there. All right. Changing your oil in your own automobile.
No reason to.
I've never done that.
Yeah. It's just simply one of those things that others could do it, especially with environmental laws. In the old days where you could just dump your all in a hole in the backyard or something. But you just can't be dumping used motor oil wherever you want. So yeah, absolutely.
Plus, I am not so. I mean, I don't know. I have changed my own oil, and I know my dad. Growing up, Dad changed his own oil, and I remember at the point he stopped doing it, basically saying it wasn't worth it anymore. I don't know that it's a whole lot cheaper to save your own, to change your own oil anymore. I don't. Somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, but obviously it depends on where you're getting it changed, and time is money also. So if you go into one of those quick,
that's where I'm at.
Yep.
They print money, but they don't print time, folks.
Well, I even like to go where you don't have to get out of the car. You just drive over the little hole in the floor of the garage, and they just change your oil.
They pop up like prairie dogs and drain your oil. But oh man, so the next one, this is gonna be finding a date in person, meaning have to hit the social scene and go where that person, where people who wanted to be found was going to be found, and having to, find that date in person the days before dating apps.
Speaking of puke-inducing.
I have no experience with that, so I don't know what, I mean.
Yeah.
You're talking about you said the dating apps, right? Like the.
Yeah,
Not like the speed dating of, when was that craze? When was the speed dating craze? Like late 90s? Like you always see it. You always see it in movies where like people sit down, you sit down across from the person and it's like a 2-minute interview basically.
Yeah, I never understood the idea of that.
Talk about that. That's really relying on the first impression.
Yeah.
Very simplistic and not deep at all.
So is this whole thing saying it's easier or harder now, given that a lot of people meet online first or through various.
What the author says is you might not have realized it if you're already partnered, but a large portion of couples found their person on an app, according to a 2019 study in Stanford. Beyond that, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. So, Pew Research also said that 48% of people 18 to 29 have used a dating app. So the thought of going out there and rubbing elbows and,
that comes a second date.
Yeah. Never rub elbows the first one.
I don't
know what you're rubbing after that. But,
I don't know that I don't know that I have a problem with if people find success in that. I don't have I think I can deal with the fact that times have changed and that is the preferred way to, I guess it keeps you from wasting time.
Yeah, that is true. And there is that.
It cuts to the chase. You don't have to. If you ever, did you ever have a blind date? Either of you ever on a blind date?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They're awkward as all get out.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember if I ever have or not.
Especially when a well-intentioned person has a different view on things. And yeah, I had been on a couple really awkward ones back in the day.
I only went on a couple, but one of them stands out as and you guys know, you probably know that for years I was reluctant to not be the one driving. I get that from my dad. Just growing up, my dad drove. My mom rarely drove when it was all of us in the car. And so I for years, I did not like to give up the steering wheel. Obviously, like when I was younger and running around with you guys and stuff, it didn't bother me. But I'm talking about on dates. And I went on a blind date, and she drove. And we met in a parking lot near work, and I get in the car and we go, and she's like, "Well, I got to make a stop. I got to go pick up my uncle." And I'm thinking, okay, let's go pick up your uncle. And we go.
Awkward.
We go and we pick up her uncle from like one of those like 12-step programs. Which again,
you're making this up.
No, I'm not. I'm really not. And again, it's nothing. It's not knocking. He was getting help for him, but just very awkward. And then obviously he gets in the car and she introduces us, and then she's asking about his meeting and stuff. And here, it was just very awkward. And then we drive forever, and she drops him off, and then we go on about our date. But I thought that was pretty awkward.
That is odd.
Yeah.
All I can imagine is it's like, I got to pick up my uncle. This guy that gets out looks like Bruiser Brody, circa 1983.
Yeah, he looked more like the guitar tech for Foghat. Not even.
And I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, not even one of the Foghat band members, but the guitar tech for Foghat.
Or the guy that knew a guy that was the guitar tech for Foghat, and he rode in the car with him once.
Yeah, exactly. He was. Yeah, he definitely had Vanilla Fudge on his playlist.
Molly Hatchet.
He had He was a is that
Black
Freedom
Oak,
Rock man?
Arkansas.
He was definitely a Freedom Rock purchaser back in the day.
Turn it up, dude. Oh,
got several comments here, Brady, before you go on.
let's hit these comments.
Joey said just what you said, Brady. Back in the day, you dumped the oil on the ground. Now it's a giant process. Jim still changes his oil though, or at least
Good
his
for you,
wife's
Jim.
oil. It's very good skill to have. Again, I've never done it, so
Chivalry.
Yes.
It's not
Treva
too
used to change mine, but costs about the same to have it changed with no muss and no fuss.
Yeah.
Now Becky, this is interesting. Day she got her license, Dad made her change the oil and the tire before she could leave the house. Said no man should do it for me. I met one that does and did today. How about that? And the rest is history.
Yeah, I was going to say, but you were prepared.
Yes,
That's true.
you don't need that man to change your oil, but he does.
There you go.
True love.
Yep.
All right.
Any more
Continue,
comments?
sir.
Yes. Go on, John. Go. He's giving Todd the business. Can you? He said he wanted you to speak in an Irish accent. Or no,
Me?
was that Joey?
That was
Yeah.
Joey.
Oh,
That was Joey. Can you
Because
go
of my
back to that
hat?
comment from Joey? Yeah.
He's good. Good. Say it,
I
Todd.
cannot. I'm not even going to embarrass myself and try it. But I assume it's the hat. I collect the
John.
newsboy style hats. So
Joey said I wanted Todd to say they stole me pappy and all me potatoes in an Irish accent. Oh,
The hat does
Maxwell
fit
in the
that.
hills.
So John asked, did she also pay for the dinner, Todd? And
no.
did she bring you flowers?
Yeah.
I knew I liked this guy. Welcome edition.
Welcome.
No. No. She should have after me having to go ride with her uncle and listen to his story.
Was that the only date?
That is so bizarre. I would have been frightened.
I was nervous.
I mean,
did you think there's a possibility that these people are going to take you out and dismember you?
Yeah,
somewhere?
I really. I mean,
yeah,
I thought.
yeah. Take a
was
sap in the back of
definitely
the head.
I was definitely a bit.
a blackjack in the back of the head.
Maybe a bit more clean cut, if I could use that as I was probably.
Now let's talk about things that are obsolete. Whoever gets hit upside the head with blackjack anymore?
My father
that-
always offered to make me a blackjack. I remember
Out of
being
what?
in first out of leather and birdshot or BBs. And he said that there was a seventh grader that was kind of rude to me on the bus. He's like, "Well, we'll make you a blackjack, make you a, and then take care," which is way different than today, you know. So, but Dad was always pushing the
that would've been-
blackjack.
That would have been awesome. You slugging some kid on the back of the head with a blackjack.
I'll tell you who it was off air, but
Yeah. Would I be surprised?
I'm going to do one more, and then that'll be about time. And using a dictionary, not the online dictionary, but the paper dictionary, the book.
Yes.
Sadly, I started teaching with a full set of dictionaries, and every year I put 3 or 4 of them more out in the hallway for them to be whisked away, never to be seen again. I still have like 3 or 4 in my class, but we haven't used them in like 3 years.
So were you just able to do that because there's this big process now that to get rid of books and things? Like you have to fill out a form and you have to check in with the Ohio Historical Society and
Oh shit! I probably just got us in trouble. I don't know.
You probably did. I probably just told on you.
I mean, I'm not saying they just took them and burned them or anything. I mean, they probably did whatever process you're talking about, but we don't have to do it. You know.
They sold it. Some guy, when you're going to be walking down the side streets of Hillsborough, a guy's going to be in a trench coat. He's like, "Hey, buddy, want a dictionary? Got some web
I
I
strips."
mean, we still use. Obviously, they use their Chromebooks and their devices and things like that to find their. Yeah, we don't use paper dictionaries
Yeah.
really anymore.
I find you have to use the Urban Dictionary the most.
Yeah. So going back to some of John's comments, he was starting to put things that kind of back to the struggle was real sorts of things. Getting upset and not being able to leave a negative review.
Yeah.
Doing DIY jobs without watching the YouTube video first.
Oh, yeah.
Well, back then, men were too. You could have had that technology at your fingertips, and our dads still would have been like, "I'm not watching no video. I can figure it out." Like,
right.
It was a pride thing.
Yes.
Standing in a bank to pay in cash, rewinding a VHS, DVD to Blockbuster.
Oh,
I miss Blockbuster.
I do too.
And all of the white dog poo.
White dog poo.
Is
that gone? Is that
for this?
I think that's still a thing. I think you could probably still find that somewhere.
I don't know. Is there some sort of Is there some sort of environmental reaction?
Regulation.
Yeah. That I am befuddled.
I wonder if it's white dog poo or white dog poo.
Ranger Dan.
We got to hear about this dog poo, John. Go on, John. Go on. We got to go on about the dog poo, John.
John also says he's a firm advocate for equal rights and women paying splitting bill. Then again, I'm single. You might want to reflect on that one, John.
That should give you plenty of time to do this white dog poo study we're asking of you.
So he says in the UK you need to pick it all up so it's no longer left in the sun. Here in the States we still have white dog poo.
Yeah.
So if you miss it,
we take pride in the shade of our dog poo.
As long as it's not a yellow ochre, as long as it stays titanium white.
This is kind of I guess a different direction than what Brady's talking about. But I did see this tweet the other day. I saw this tweet the other day, and I can't agree more. Now, I need to start with this disclaimer. You guys know I've talked about it on the program. I've talked about it in person. I'm a big tipper. I am a firm believer that if you can't afford to tip, you can't afford to eat out. And I'm not even a big fan of not leaving the waitress a good tip because your food was wrong or something. It's not their fault.
Right.
I can make an exception if the waiter or waitress is just an ass.
Yeah.
But that rarely happens. But I do have a problem with this trend. Every place is asking for a tip now. Everywhere. Everywhere you go, every purchase you make.
That's a COVID phenomenon.
And I have a problem with it.
Yeah. If I'm going through the dollar store and picking up a candy bar and a water, I shouldn't have to pay a tip,
Yeah.
So here's a question on that note. Do you believe that people are more compelled to tip in places where they shouldn't or need not to if it's on the credit card receipt when you get the receipt?
Oh, yeah. It's
so
like suggestion.
There's a place to write it in, so most people will write it in so as not to be considered
an unused.
Unseemly.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I am ordering food and it's being delivered to my house, obviously I will tip, and I will tip well. And a lot of times I'll do the online tip, and then I'll tip the driver. I don't know who the hell it goes to. I just tip. But if I order something online and I go to pick it up, why should I leave a tip? Now I'm probably going to anger some people that work in the service industry there, but I don't. You're right. It did start with COVID, Eric, and I understood it with COVID.
Yeah.
So maybe we're still, but I don't think that it's all of a sudden it's going to stop and people are going to be like, okay, things are better now. We're going to stop.
The genie's out of the bottle.
Yeah.
Right.
So sorry, rant over.
So Gary says Chilton's Auto Repair Book, a casualty of YouTube. I believe they still sell those, like in AutoZone and places like that. But that's probably true. You probably just watch a YouTube video like anything else. Joey says Todd is onto something here. Corporations expecting us to pay their employees instead of.
Wow, that's deep, dude.
Yeah, that's well said.
Interesting
Joey.
thought.
Yeah. John said, "Nah, if people tipped, then we would have no office workers, as everyone will work at McDonald's." All right. And John also says dial-up internet. That is true too. I had that
is
conversation
true, man.
with someone the other day. I believe the most joyous day in my young life was when there became a local number from Sardinia to dial the internet.
Yep.
Just those terrible sounds that would come from your computer where you thought every time it was frying.
Yeah.
This is it. It's over. I have no computer left. Good topic, Brady. That didn't get me as fired up as I thought it would.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Not as curmudgeonly as you thought.
That's right.
All right. Once again, I want to remind you, I'll just keep reminding you that this will be the thing I'll just keep doing over the course of the next several shows, reminding you of our 100th episode live audience version at Sons of Toil Brewing in Mount Orab on Klein Road, Sunday, June 5th, 5 to 8. We do have an event on our Facebook page. If you would please, if you have some thoughts of going and joining us there, go to the event, at least put that you're interested. So like I said earlier, we can get some sort of idea about who might show up.
John, our friend on the Mercy side, if you make the trip, we will buy you a pint or two.
Yes.
Let us know if you want the steak or the fish. Just kidding. We're not having steak and fish, but I've always wanted to say that.
Fish and chips. So how long have you guys been in this drum circle?
We're sneaking up on 100 episodes.
Yeah.
About 2.5 years.
2 years and 2 months.
2 years.
So 26 months.
Right when COVID. Right when COVID started.
That's how we occupied ourselves during the lockdown. Was we did 2 episodes a week.
Yeah. So it was our first episode came out, then the world shut down like 3 days later. So it was interesting timing.
Wasn't our fault.
We had to do we did them in person at the time. We had to wait till it was dark and sneak
out.
Yeah. Pirate radio here, man. We were hardcore rebels.
All right, Todd. You have a continuation.
I do. Part 2 of my fast food tournament. And
Fast Food 2 Electric Boogaloo.
We did the entire left side of the bracket. Today we're going to do the entire right side, and we'll see what kind of time we have. And remember, these are not seeded.
Yeah.
Starting off, we have a chicken matchup. Ooh. Popeyes versus KFC.
Some poultry pugnaciousness here.
And Colonel Sanders before he went teats up.
Oh, the Colonel with his weedy eyes.
He's a Caribbean Dudley.
Sorry, John. Our Scottish is
yes,
not good.
Not good, but great movie.
Yes.
So, gentlemen, what do you think? Popeyes, KFC.
Okay. I like me some Popeyes. I had my first Popeyes fried chicken in 1984 at the World's Fair in New Orleans, and it was delicious.
That sounds made up.
Nope. I still have the sleeveless T-shirt stowed away someplace.
Brady was a World Fair traveler back in the 80s.
Wow.
Yeah. 82 in Knoxville, 84 in New Orleans. And and then also Popeyes has a side that you could rarely find in any other fast food joint. That's the red beans and rice.
True.
So if you want to get your Cajun on, Popeyes is definitely the trip. My kids love KFC, and KFC's fine, although I don't like bone-in chicken.
Bojangles
Mr.
has red beans.
Do they?
Popeyes and Bojangles probably would have been a better matchup here.
Yeah, I think it would have been a bit more of a difference. But I know that KFC, especially with Kentucky not too far away from us, should be the slam dunk. But I honestly like Popeyes better than KFC because of this, the difference. If that makes sense.
Eric?
I've only had Popeyes from one location. and I'm not impressed with said location. I don't know if their product is not to what I feel it should, because I heard people talking all the time not too long ago about, well, yeah, Popeyes is better than Chick-fil-A. I have never seen that. I've never experienced that.
I think that's people just having a beef with Chick-fil-A for other reasons.
I see what you did
that's
there.
what it boils down to.
Right, indeed. I would say KFC.
I won't add much to it other than to say I will also choose KFC. I think Popeyes is overrated. Really? And even if I were going to pick Popeyes chicken sandwich, I think the overall menu at KFC is better. Mashed taters and gravy, mac and cheese, biscuits. They're close. They got a good slaw, Eric.
They do have a fine
slaw.
And I like me some chicken little sandwiches. Just the little tiny sandwiches with, no bigger than a thumb.
All right, audience. Of course, we are looking for your votes as well. We have 2 KFC, 1 Popeyes amongst us. Becky says KFC. Maxwell, welcome, Maxwell. He says KFC. Other people in the room, if you have Tanya, welcome, Tanya.
Oh, there's one.
Tanya says
thank you, Tanya.
Hey, Tanya.
And I mean, it's not like Poop Deck Pappy is slinging the Popeyes. It's like,
Poop Deck Pappy.
Sometimes you'll get the sea hag in the drive-through, though.
You can't go against the Colonel, though.
Sea hag.
With his wee bitty eyes.
His wee bitty eyes, it makes it clear night.
Allison says Popeyes. Rebecca had never had Popeyes, not around this far north. That'd be KFC by default, maybe. I don't know. Sabrina. Yeah. Welcome, Sabrina. Sabrina. Says KFC.
Fellow slaw lover.
Also loves the slaw. Who doesn't love a good slaw?
If they only sold cottage cheese so I could put the slaw atop the cottage cheese.
If only they would put cat poop on nachos.
Up again it and in it.
Nasty,
baby.
You've never tried it.
Nor would
Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
I don't like college cheese. I do not like curdled milk. I will not do it, said Fisky. Nor will I do it, Sam I am.
Is it safe to say KFC won?
Yes.
Yeah.
Had a couple Popeyes votes, but KFC would be the winner.
All right. Moving right along. We got a couple
moving on.
Couple of sub shops going at it here.
Ooh.
Firehouse subs. Voices. Yimmy Yawns.
Firehouse.
Yeah. Oh, you don't like Firehouse?
No, I love Firehouse.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's not like I have a problem with Yimmy Yuns, but Jaime wait a minute. Hold on. I just Jaime Wands. But it is it's so overrated. It was built up to me so much. And then when I got there, it's like, oh my gosh, this is just Subway on a firmer bun. And I actually like Subway better. I know that's going to take a lot of people off, but I was so underwhelmed with Jimmy John's.
Hey, the smells are free.
Well,
White Castle's got it in spades.
I would say Firehouse as well. It does seem to be a higher class sub than Yimmy John's. Now, my wife, of course, she has celiac disease, so she cannot eat bread with gluten in it. As one of our friends most famously said, I don't know what gluten is, but it tastes awful good, sort of thing. But she gets the unwitches at Yimmy Yawns, the ones wrapped in lettuce, which makes me want to vomit.
Might as well stick it in some celeries.
I mean, if you're going to eat something, lettuce better never be the first thing you taste. Ever. That's why you put dressing on salad. Nah.
It's
All right, so it's safe
water.
to say, I can tell from the comments, Eric, if you want to pull them up, you can, but I can tell from looking at them that Firehouse is running away with it.
Becky,
Firehouse won't
Maxwell,
treat you bad.
Savannah,
Not only that, a great band.
Yeah.
Indeed. I'll say Firehouse. Rebecca says Yummy Yawns. Tanya's never had Yummy Yawns. The bun is the only good thing at Yummy Yawns, according to Becky.
They're picking it up. Todd, you caused something there. It's gonna go in the isms.
Sabrina prefers Subway.
Subway. We'll get there, Sabrina. Speaking of Firehouse, had they just been 3 years earlier, they would have been one of the biggest hair metal bands of all time, I think.
I finally found the love of a lifetime.
I mean, think about it. What their big album was 91. I mean, 91, maybe even 92.
I think it was 92.
It shouldn't have done as well as it did, to be quite honest with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put that album out in 88, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. 87, 88, we'd have been listening to that shit at the Brown County Fair to the
in the Himalayan Express.
Yeah, I was going to say the Himalayan Express and the Gravitron. The Rocco planes.
Now, the Himalaya Express, it had to be Guns N' Roses, and the operator had to have consumed a lot of meth.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the blind date I went on, her uncle was at one time an operator for the Himalayan Express at the Brown County Fair.
Were methamphetamines a thing back then?
I don't know.
A drug of choice, would it?
I think it was just the toot and the marching powder.
It's back when skin tight jeans and the skin tight T-shirt with the sleeves hat. They still did the whole, like, if you think about it, they still did like the cigarette pack rolled up in the arms. I didn't realize that, but looking back, I distinctly remember that from the Nolan guys at the fair.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of that.
And they would also have a pack in their pocket, like every pocket and every sleeve had like a packet. They had like 19 packs of cigarette on their person at any given time.
On their person.
All right, we have another matchup of the sandwich. The next like 4 or 5 matchups were all sandwich places, but I did a little bit of scrubbing here because some of them aren't. Redundant. At least I never heard of them. It was Subway versus Blimpie, but I crossed out Blimpie, and I put Penn Station. Now Penn Station maybe would have been better paired against Firehouse or something. Right. So anyway, we have Subway versus Penn Station.
Even though I enjoy a Penn Station more, Subway is the convenience and everything. Like, it's quicker. Penn Station's good, but oh my gosh, man. I remember Penn Station pre-gallbladder being particularly brutal on me. I think it's because it was like the oil they used or something. But I'm gonna go Subway.
If I'm looking for quality of food, it would have to be Penn Station. Now, Brady does bring up a good point as far as the convenience and quickness factor of Subway. But if we're talking strictly food quality here, I would have to say Penn Station.
Absolutely.
All right. I am going to agree probably with the quality. I agree with everything you guys said, but I'm going to throw a couple more chunks at you. First off, the Dagwood at Penn Station is still one of my all-time favorite sandwiches. And on top of that, you cannot beat Penn Station's fries. They have the fresh cut fries.
That is true.
So with that being said, I probably got to give overall tastiness to the Dagwood and some fresh cut fries at Penn Station.
Makes sense.
The voting public thinks differently, however.
I see that.
Maxwell, Treva, Savannah, Sabrina, Tanya. Subway, all Subway. We only have one Penn Station vote aside from me and Todd. Becky says Penn Station. Now, Tanya, I know you are talking about the Ripley Subway, which is glorious. If it were only the Ripley Subway, I would say yes. Subway all the way. But Subways in general...
If my cousin Rebecca from Wisconsin is still hanging around, I have a memory of us being at Kings Island and your dad getting after you for getting a veggie sub at Subway. He was like, "My gosh, if it's gonna be this expensive, you better put some meat on that." And he was not happy about cranking out like you getting a veggie sub. I don't know why I remember that, but I do. It was kind of a funny thing.
Jim with the late Penn Station vote there.
We had 4. We had 4 Penn stations. That's respectable.
Yeah.
And Rebecca says, "I've never gotten one since." her dad scarred her for life for veggie subs.
All right. Next matchup. Subway, by the way.
Yes.
Next matchup. It was originally DeBella's Subs, which I've never heard of,
Never
I've
heard
had
of
the Bellas.
versus Charlie's. I guess like a sandwich place as well, or like a.
Yeah.
So I crossed them both out
Yeah.
because I thought we needed this matchup, given where we're from. Gold Star versus Skyline.
Oh. No question. No question. Skyline.
I love both. I'm not a snob. I love them both. But Skyline is my favorite of the two. Gold Star has a better menu.
Oh, see,
overall.
I'm going the opposite to that.
Oh, are you?
I think, well, it depends. If you're talking about, since Gold Star has burgers and things like that.
That's what I mean.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
And they're good burgers. Let's just compare the chili aspect of it, though. Let's take off the burgers and the lunch meat sandwich, the whatever you call them. I think Skyline has the better menu because of the baked potatoes, because of the burritos. With that being said, there are 2 things that this debate should come down to, and that is chili spaghetti and conies. And I think Gold Star wins. I don't like the taste of Skyline's hot dogs. They taste fake.
You're not the first person I've heard say that.
They taste fake. They taste like they are tubes of just make-believe. They are tubes of make-believe.
Fowini.
I'm just looking at the comments here. Voting from the pup. Now I say Skyline. Todd, do you say Gold Star? Is
Gold
that
Star.
correct?
Yes.
Brady
I
says
said Skyline.
Skyline. Let's see. Savannah says Skyline. Gary Skyline. Jim Skyline. Tanya Skyline without a doubt.
You skipped a Gold Star up there.
I'm going back to the Gold Star.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're doing. You're getting all the
Rebecca Skyline. I'm not trying to whatever I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to cheat. I'm not trying to cheat.
I was trying to assist you.
Allison says Skyline. Yes, Trevo Skyline makes the buns too soggy.
Yeah, and then when you throw in those fake tasting hot dogs, it's just
So which is worse here? So Treva says Skyline has soggy buns. Becky says Gold Star is thicker. She doesn't want runny stuff soaking her wiener. So I mean, I don't know which is worse.
Does that push our NC or our PG-13 rating?
We're talking hot dogs.
I know.
And never mind. Did you all count those? I wasn't counting. I was just putting the comments up.
Take it
Becky
back.
does say Gold Star. Treva says Gold Star. Maxwell Gold Star.
Wow.
Sabrina Gold Star.
Yeah, see, Sabrina agrees. The burrito, you can't beat the burritos at Skyline because Gold Star doesn't even have them. They have the Gorrito, which is the burrito with Fritos in it.
Yeah.
But Skyline has several.
I like those. They're good.
Oh, I like them too, but Skyline has you can get the regular burrito, the burrito deluxe.
Yeah.
You can get the wet burrito. They should just call that the Warrito.
Now, Gary brings up a valid point. How can you criticize a hot dog for tasting fake? Of course it does.
It's all lips and buttle.
You beat me to it. So yeah, Sabrina's for some reason Skyline is just wetter. This is going off the rails.
Skyline also, here's what I've noticed lately. Skyline, and I am a cheese lover, but Skyline goes overboard on the cheese. I mean, it is piled up there. Well, you're right. You're right. But by the time I get down to the chili and the brebs and whatever else, I'm full.
Okay, so here's my personal take on this argument. And I think I know the geography of the people here who are commenting. So I'm thinking a person's preference is based upon what is in their general vicinity. The people who have Gold Star in their general vicinity and not Skyline like Gold Star better. As I would say before I was enlightened, and the only choice you had for Cincinnati chili was the Gold Star in Georgetown. That's what you like because that's what you had. Once they brought Skyline to Mount Orb, never ever would I touch Gold Star again.
Really?
I was enlightened. Yes.
Oh, that's pretty strong. People are very passionate about their favorites, but I've never heard anybody poo-poo on the other one.
Oh, I have. I've heard it quite a bit, but I've never been in that camp. I will eat either one, and I will enjoy either one or both. To actually solve this, I think at the 100 episode, we need to have Skyline and Gold Star there for us to taste test and decide right then and there. But I'm going to throw another one at you.
Throw away.
Empress. I was a huge Empress chili fan, which I believe was here before Gold Star and Skyline both.
Yes. And then there's Blue Ash chili.
I think there may only be one actual Empress left.
I think
Lawrenceburg,
so.
I think.
Is that it?
But Mama's Grill in Berg.
Yeah. They have Empress chili.
They have Empress chili. I don't know, but it's not an Empress chili location, obviously, so I don't know how that works.
I have not been to Camp Washington chili, and I've always wanted to.
Camp Washington chili is good. It's a little spicy.
Yeah.
Gary says he has not. Pull up Gary's comment there about the.
There you go. My last Gold Star Coney was 1988. My kids do not know such things.
Is that true?
Well, yeah. That's he had the same enlightenment that I had. Once Skyline became an option, Gold Star was not an option.
I think we need to let John in England know something. What's going on, really? I don't know if he's familiar with Cincinnati style chili.
No, I'm sure he's not.
Yeah. So I don't know the best way to describe it. It is a chili and a spaghetti together, topped with cheese, and it's spiced differently. And where we're from in Ohio, it's just it's a local thing. The farther you get away from the Cincinnati area, it's harder to find.
It's one of those things where, like, when famous bands and stuff come to town, they talk about having to get some Cincinnati style chili.
Yeah.
But what won, Eric? Or which one won? Did you have a number?
I believe Skyline just barley. Let me see here again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Skylines, and 8 counting me and Todd.
No, I was Gold Star.
I mean me and Brady.
You and Brady, yeah.
Gold Star. Todd is 1 Gold Star, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, wait a minute. That's not a vote. She'd already voted. 5 for Gold Star. So
it's a tight one.
It was.
All right. So Skyline it is. Moving on. We got a couple pizza battles here.
Yes.
The Hut.
The Hut.
Versus the Johns. Pizza Hut versus Papa John's.
Papa John's.
Frere Jean. Or no. Yeah. Père Jean. Yeah. I love Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut was actually the first pizza I ever ate. And the one in Georgetown, Ohio tastes better than all the other Pizza Huts.
You have to also put this out there for any of our younger listeners. Not that we have any. But well, actually, I take that back. My daughter even mentions that. Yeah, my daughter talks about, like, people at her school knowing that her dad's on a podcast. So
Well-
we do
well-
have some young listeners.
Well, now, if you look at our demographics, actually our third highest demographic is 18 to 22-year-olds. So we have
Really?
young listeners, yes.
So if you're 18 to 22 and maybe even a little older, you don't understand the magic of Pizza Hut in the 80s and 90s.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
80s, early to mid 90s. So I'll just set you up with that, though, Brady. I mean, I'm not going to give my pick yet, but it was something different than it is now. You can't hardly compare it to what has happened since.
You go in, you get your drink in the red translucent cup. You play a game of Space Invaders on the tabletop.
At the tabletop, yes.
Yeah.
Jukebox is kicking, maybe a little Rick Springfield.
Yes.
There you go.
And some 38 special.
Yeah,
And
oh,
some
yeah.
Duran.
Yeah. And your pizza came out in a pan that would singe the skin off of everybody's knuckles if you weren't careful.
It was hot like lava.
Was Pizza Hut the first place to have a pan pizza? Now, I know Chicago-style pizza is kind of a panish pizza, but it's a different sort of thing. I mean, an actual pizza with cheese on top and things. Was Pizza Hut the first one to have that?
Well, I mean, the first one I remember, but you guys remember the floors at all the Pizza Huts too? There was that like red brick looking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Red brick
Fantastic.
tile
And the
looking
smell. It smells glorious every
gosh.
time you go in there. Oh, man, I want some now.
Yeah, that's. But anyway, so Brady, you're picking Pizza Hut, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
or-
Absolutely.
The Hut.
Yeah, Papa John's is very good, and I think Eric, this might play a little bit into what you were saying about the geographically, because we didn't grow up with Pizza Hut or Papa John's anywhere near us.
No.
Even when the Papa John craze was big in the late '90s.
Yeah.
A lot of I remember a lot of my friends at various colleges talking about Papa John's being great, but you just can't beat Pizza Hut. And even though Pizza Hut has fallen, there's actually I watched a online documentary about this one time talking about it was just like this battle of the pizza places or whatever, and I mean Pizza Hut really was the king.
Yeah.
There for a while, and I can't remember any of the details, but I mean they did business wise. They just figured it out.
Yeah.
Very good. They've gone through some changes. But it's still good. Pizza Hut on a bad day is still good. Obviously, they were the first to come up with a stuffed crust pizza that I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
What was the name of that Pizza Hut product for a while in the 80s? It was like a pizza pie where it was like...
They've had some crazy ideas. Remember
Yeah.
when they had the Pizza Hut with the crust that was little miniature hot dogs? Like pigs in a blanket, like all around the crust?
Yeah. Yeah.
With that being said, I'll wait. So I'm going 3 votes for Pizza Hut to start things.
And let me serenade my vote. The Hut, the Hut, the Hut, Hut.
Don't you think Papa John sounds stupid?
I would say the Hut wins this one handily. Allison did vote Papa John's as well as Savannah, but everyone else
with
votes,
Pizza the Hut on
Pizza
May the
Hut.
4th.
Oh yeah, the Bookets. Treva mentioned the Bookets.
Yeah, right.
We still did those up until a couple years ago. The Pizza Hut Bookets things. We did them differently than I remember them as a youth, but we still used them. All right, we have another pizza battle. Domino's versus, now, make sure I'm pronouncing this correctly. Is it Sbarro?
Sbarro, yeah.
Okay. Domino's versus Sbarro.
Sbarro was a mall only food option, wasn't it? I mean, there were no standalone.
It was in the highfalutin malls.
Yeah, right. Like Kenwood. Eastgate did not have a Sbarro's.
No.
So I can't speak much to Sbarro. I mean, maybe I've had it a few times in my life, but I'd say by process of elimination, Domino's.
Yeah.
Okay. I've had Sbarro's a couple times in the mall. But here's the deal. Which Domino's are we talking about? Are we talking about before Domino's revamped their product and it all tastes like box, or new Domino's? If it just tasted like cardboard and cheese, that's the old Domino's. Because I remember the disappointment of getting Domino's and not Pizza Hut. And I would eat it, and it tastes like box. Just
broken. Fiscus and I are broken.
Corrugated, greasy box. So.
Oh, okay.
But now Domino's. You're welcome.
Okay. I gotta back you up on that because now I thought I was like some brilliant marketing person. It turns out everybody knew it. But remember how Domino's was good for a while, and then they just went to hell in a handbasket, and it was crater pizza.
Fault.
You would get a pizza and it would be like it would have a big old divot, and in that divot it would be arid. I mean, there would be no sauce on it. It would be just nasty. And I remember saying, if Domino's doesn't do something quick, they're going to be out of business. And next thing you know, they come back, and this is a bold move. This was also in that documentary that I watched. They changed everything. And I mean literally everything. They changed crust, they changed cheese, they changed sauce, everything. And they ended up, I think right now, Domino's is maybe number 2, but maybe number 1 pizza place in the world. Yeah. So that was a bold move, but it was a necessary move on their part.
It could rank as the greatest transformation of any eatery in the history of the United States, maybe the history of the world.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. And it's great. I mean, Domino's is great.
Yep.
Did not used to be great. I would also say Domino's. And by the way, Becky said she's never heard of Sbarro. Sbarro actually spelled Sbarro. So for whatever that's worth. But is it even? I guess it's still around. It's in.
And it's known for having the red and green stripe, like the flag of Italy.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of a well-known, like its logo.
Gary's comment.
That is, those air pockets are the best part of Domino's.
Now, Gary, maybe if you bit into one of those pizza blisters and there was some sauce hiding in there, if it was a pocket, if it was like a little pizza pocket, that would be fine. But biting into it and just getting nothing but dust.
Well, no, a perfectly done one is when you bite into it's hot and you puncture the pocket and hot air comes out that smells like pizza.
It
like pizza farts you.
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to damage them.
a little zephyr of pizza scent.
A pizza poof. A pizza poofer.
You go to school the next day and you got like some second degree burn on your nose. Pizza fart? Yeah, pizza fart.
That's it.
You've been zephyred.
Pizzeffery.
You call that the triple tempest pizza. All right, so Domino's, I think, clearly wins. Gary says stuffless crust.
Oh, that wins tonight. Oh, man.
Unstuff, Ed. All right, we have a couple burrito places coming up. Chipotle. Uh-oh. Now, I hope it's okay. It was Chipotle versus Moe's. But I don't see a lot of Moe's. I changed it to Hothead Burrito. Chipotle versus Hothead Burrito.
Okay. Chipotle is the godfather. It is the first. And there are things I love about both. I think I actually prefer the proteins from Hothead. But I like the cleanliness aspect of Chipotle in the decor. No, but I don't. I've had some good hotheads, but there's been some dirty ones.
I am a recent hothead devotee.
Convert.
Wilmington?
Convert. Milford.
Okay.
Generally. I mean, I've been to the one in Wilmington, but generally the
Waverly?
one in Milford. Waverly. I've been to that one too, actually.
Yeah, you were there with me, dude.
Yeah, I was there with you. Exactly. Yeah, that Becky hit on the head. She beat me to it. Best sauces ever. Definitely more of a choice in sausage.
Sausage.
At Hothead than there is at Chipotle. I mean, Chipotle, you're actually, it's what? It's either cheese or it's salsa.
Well, they have
I mean, there's
three.
really
Yeah.
nothing.
The Hothead definitely has,
more
I think, a more vast menu. I think their menus a little more options.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
Chipotle,
they have the Hothead has there's like 9 different pre-made. Like if you just want to go with their choice, whatever it is, they have that option. I am a recent Hothead, whatever you said, convert, and I was impressed because I have been a bowl guy for a while. Started at one time trying to eat healthier and stuff like that, so do away with the burrito and so the other day at Hothead I got a burrito for the first time in I don't know how long, and I hope I don't get the person in trouble. I won't say the location. I don't know if the person was having trouble wrapping the burritos or if it's just what Hothead does, but I saw this worker make 3 burritos, including mine, and every one of them they put 2 tortilla shells on it. Is that? It was almost like the first one didn't quite encompass
it
everything.
might have been a supplier issue.
And no, they put 2 of them.
Well, I'm saying maybe it was smaller than the ones they usually have.
So with that being said, I don't know if that was common, but it was delicious, and I swear it was the size of a newborn baby. It was huge. It was huge. You can ask Celia about it. I have never held such a giant food item in my palms.
You got the aluminum there. It's crowning. It's crowning.
I was thinking, were you like Lion King and held the burrito?
Yes. It's like roots. I showed my age there, and I've never even watched that. I just remember the scene. So I think I don't know that I can pick a favorite, but I will say that was damn good. And another thing I liked, I don't think Chipotle has this option, but at Hothead, you can get your bowls or your burritos toasted.
Yes.
And you did say bowls, didn't you?
Bowls, yeah.
Yeah.
And I got my burrito toasted, and by gosh, it held together better than an untoasted burrito. I mean, I didn't have any of the mess of it falling apart. I mean, it stayed taut. It stayed well packed, well maintained.
Scrape your teeth on it.
So I'm going to vote for. That was a long way around me saying I'm voting for Hothead.
Now, one thing that Chipotle has that Hothead does not is the carne asada. The carne asada is when they have it. It's limited edition. When they have it, it's tremendous. So
I was impressed also with Hothead's. We got some chips and some what's the cheese? Queso. But we also got some guacamole, and it was darn good guacamole. And I'm a recent guacamole convert as well.
No whack-a-mole in my world.
Whack-a-mole.
We have 1 vote from Becky. Actually, 2 votes if you count the hubby. He says Hothead for her, Chipotle for the hubby. We have 3 Hothead burrito votes here amongst us. Burrito. Any other votes?
Grabbing my loins.
We need to add "bweet" to the.
I think it's in the isms.
Is it in the isms?
I think it already is.
Eric,
there.
you have to look in the next commercial. You have to look.
Segment.
Yes.
All right, so it's safe to say we lost our voters. Did we chase them off with our burrito talk?
There's still people in the room. They're just not voting anymore.
So as of right now, Brady picked Chipotle.
Oh,
I think I did.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
We've
still
had them
4-1,
left them flummoxed.
or 3-1. All right, continue.
All right, last one, and then we'll call it a night, and we'll start the second round next week. Arby's versus Taco Bell.
No. I can only get a roast beef au jus at Arby's. I can't get that at Taco Bell.
Roasted beast. Oh,
My roasted beast. Even though there's some ill effects, but I still like my Arby's.
Yes, there are ill effects. I don't know. And again, I'll just put Becky's comment up here because we think Arby's, expensive. You know, it's too expensive, I think.
I will agree with the expensive. I don't agree with there's only one choice.
Yeah, there are other things there, but it doesn't seem like it should be that expensive.
No, it should not. And you know what? It's one of the more noticeable post-COVID up hikes. Like the price. I mean,
inflation.
It's crazy. Like, and yeah, you're right. You shouldn't go with one other person to Arby's and it costs $27. I mean, like you shouldn't no fast food should cost $27 for you and the person you're with to go. Yeah. But
I mean, that being said, I do like the breadth of the Arby's menu, and I think I will go with Arby's, even though I don't generally go there much, if that makes sense. But given the choice of the two, Arby's.
Yeah, I'm going with the Arb. Taco Bell is in the top 2 of all time promises I make that I'll never eat there again. And then I always go back. And I'm not even talking about intestinal distress. I'm talking about like 47% of the time it just tastes like garbage. It's inconsistent. I'll get the same thing one time I'll get it'll be great, one time it'll be nasty. But Arby's always tastes the same. And I like the Market Fresh sandwiches. You can't beat the curly fries.
Yeah,
they got good cheese sticks.
The cordon bleu is phenomenal.
The cordon bleu is good. Their fish sandwich is good. All of their various roast beefs. Their sides are good. Like they used to have onion rings. They were fantastic. They don't have them anymore.
So you bring up the fries. Here's one problem I had with Arby's up until recently, and I still have a little bit of a problem. Why is it such a big damn deal to bring out a regular fry? I mean, it was this big celebration at Arby's. Hey, we got crinkle cut fries now. Because
they're phenomenal.
But they are good. But what I'm saying is Curly's were my only choice. Maybe I don't want Curly's. Maybe I want just a regular old fry. But Arby's never gave me that choice until recently. Now it's some great big deal. Plus, I got to pay more for it. Why do I have to pay more for?
You ever get a Curly impaled by a stray fry?
Yeah, the curly fries are in the top 5 list of foods that end up in other food boxes. Like there'll always be a partial curly fry no matter what you get from Arby's. Like you could get like a milkshake and the last swig will have like a chunk of curly fry in it. Yeah, but Arby's has good shakes. They have the orange. In the summertime, they have the orange dream shake or whatever. Yeah, I'm going Arby's. I've talked myself into it.
I don't like the equine elixir though.
Now, if this were a tournament of best restaurants after midnight, Taco Bell's up there.
It's because it's one of the only ones.
I will say your tournament would consist of Taco Bell and White Castle.
So I have Taco Bell is also in my top 3 ever of ordering a bag of food and getting a bag of different food. Like you will literally get a bag of something that is nothing you ordered. But I think they look at it like it's all the same crap anyway. It's all the same. I mean, it's a version of a tortilla shell with some meat, cheese, and fixins.
You know what Taco Bell's the worst offender of any restaurant is the pictures on the menu look nothing like what you get.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you could tell that the burritos and everything have basically been sent to food mortuary to be embalmed for that picture. It's so round and nice, but when you get it, it looks like a buffalo sat on it.
Yeah.
And
It's the opposite of like the Chinese restaurants that have the sign where it's so faded it doesn't even look. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's a picture of all the foods, but they're all just pale and gray and
yeah.
A buffalo sat on it. Or a yak.
Tatonka sat on it.
Yak. Yak buttle in my Taco Bell.
So Becky has a good point about the Eros.
Eros. If you're Greek.
She was somewhere she was talking about.
There we go. Like their Arby's, but want their Rio Euro.
So she wants some genuine mutton. That's what she wants.
That's why I made the reference. You darn fool.
You don't see mutton on the Arby's menu. That's probably would be off-putting. Extra mutton.
Off-putting or off-putting? Becky also says their fries have dirty oil most of the time.
It'd be a good band name, Dirty Oil.
Let's see. Jim says you're right about the late night fight, but you'd have to go Whitey Cassell's. That's a fact. I think if given the choice.
But I tell you, man, because of no place being open, you'll sit in the drive-through for 45 minutes at a White Castle now after midnight. It's crazy.
Be happy.
You'll like it.
Little lamb, baby.
No.
Says. As far as the voting goes, Arby's in a wide. There's not a single Taco Bell vote amongst everybody.
All right, so that finishes up round one. Join us next week for round two of the fast food tournament.
Tournament. All right, so once again, as I said, I will bombard you with, remind you, because people kind of come and go. We're doing our 100th episode live in front of a live audience at Sons of Toil Brewing, Sunday, June 5th, 5 to 8 p.m. Go to our Facebook page. There's an event there. If you have any plans on coming, please put that you're interested, and we'll know who's coming. It is our intention, hopefully we can get it done, that we will also be doing a live broadcast here on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch and all those other different places that we are. That's our goal. Hopefully we can get that done. If not, we'll still record the video and we'll upload the video. But as far as getting it done live, I'm hoping that we can get that done. I'm still trying to think through in my mind of the logistics of the technology of all this.
I was going to say, and if anyone has any input or advice
to help our
on
output.
how to, yeah.
Well, input. That's a good point. Anybody, tell us what you'd like to hear us do in front of what would you like to hear us talk about in front of the live audience? What would you like to participate in? I mean, just generally interested. I don't know that we've still really decided how this is going to play out as far as topics and things, but we've been discussing things back and forth.
I think we're trying to, like, we talk about organic a lot. I think we're trying to have it come to us organically. This might be the only episode where we have to put a little more scripting in.
Yep.
Yes.
And John with the good the good thing of the day: do not wipe your butt with a broken light bulb.
That's true. That is the
words of
advice.
Words,
make sure the light bulb is intact
before you wipe your butt. All right, John, it's good that you're here. You may have an unfair advantage in this game we're going to play. Once again, we are going to play word teasers, slang version, gentlemen.
Ooh.
So we played this game before off and on, just to let everyone know the basic idea of our little game here. I'm going to read the question out loud. First person is actually, we're going to go back and forth and decide who can get the answer correct. But there are several clues as far as what the answer might be. But essentially, the answer is a slang term. Well, the clue is a slang term, and then you have to determine which thing is correct of the multiple choices. All right. So, as always, we drew lots backstage. Todd, you will begin. All right. So our first word teaser. This is slang, carny slang from England. Some friends tell you to meet them in the light and dark. Do they, A, want you to meet them at dusk between day and night? B, want you to meet them at the park? C, want to confuse the heck out of you? Or D, want you to shave one of your eyebrows?
That's obviously it.
I'm going to say between the first one, between light and dark, between dusk and dawn, or the first one.
All right. So Todd's choice wants you to meet them at dusk between day and night. The correct answer, and I'd probably just have John give you all the correct answers. John says park. That is correct. They want you to meet them at the park. According to the back of the card, they want you to meet at the park, but would laugh like crazy if you misunderstand and shave off one of your eyebrows. Now, John, enlighten us here. Why does light and dark mean the park? I would be interested to hear that. By the way, welcome, Matt.
Matt.
But we'll go on. We'll have John answer that for us. Again, I'm just curious. He is going to know all these because they're mostly British English slang terms. All right. So Todd misses. Brady gets the point.
Ooh.
So Brady 1-0. Our score. All right, Brady.
All right.
Another slang term from England. Kiki DMs. So KIKI DMs.
Yeah.
Okay, Kiki DMs you, so direct messages you. Kiki direct messages you that she would like to have a chin wag. Did she A, just grow a beard, B, want to make out, C, talk a bunch of gossipy stuff, or D, make you a fresh batch of cookies?
I am going to lean toward she wants to talk a bunch of gossip, because there was an older gentleman that was across the street when I grew up. Was talking about people making chin music all the time. And I'm assuming that it's going to be the same kind of thing. So I'm going to go with gossiping and talk a bunch of gossip.
All right. So once again, John with our answer. She wants to chat. She wants to gossip.
I just realized that we need to, since we have such a distinguished guest with us, we need to turn our comments off.
Yeah, no looking at comments, because he'll know all these.
Eric can keep his on, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, she wants to gossip. You should say yes, or she could wind up gossiping about you. There you go. So John did answer our question, and this sounds like play it by earisms. This sounds like our language.
I was going to,
We asked him the question, why light and dark? And he said simply, because it rhymes. So if you say apples and pears, that means stairs. So, hey, it's like
kind of
play it by earisms.
Yeah.
Brady kicks babies. Todd stinks. Yeah.
I was trying to like solve his riddle, but he's literally just saying that Todd stinks and baby kicks babies. There's nothing else to look into. I was looking for like a rhyming thing, like Todd stinks, like wink wink. I didn't know what he was going with there, but
he's just saying you suck.
Yes,
really.
I see that.
Oh, John, I'm so happy you're here.
Yes,
you've added greatly to our show. All right, Todd. Another slang term from England. Once again, carny slang. If your friends Zuli and Blip say they're excited about the Tic Tac, what are they pumped up about? A, going to bet on the ponies at the horse track. B, eating candy that makes their breath smell minty fresh. C, singing karaoke. Or D, excited about the video they just posted.
I'm going to say what was the first one? The horse races?
Going to bet on the ponies at the horse track.
Yeah, I'm going to say they're betting on ponies at the horse track.
And the correct answer is get them to put some money on the number 2 horse they're going to the track.
I used John's tack rhymes with track.
There you go. I think he just gave you a thing that you can use here.
Yeah.
He may have rendered this game obsolete. That little piece.
Got the Kyle King rule. We're never going to have the go John go rule for this game.
The go on John go on postulate.
Yeah. All right. John didn't know that one. He's out. But your rule played on that one, John. Going to the track. All right, Brady.
See.
Once again, slang from England. Your new girlfriend posts that she's feeling chuffed. CHUFFED. Is she feeling mad, sad, glad, PO'd, happy, slappy, sexy, goofy, or glamorous?
I am going to have to be fair. We have had that one before.
I think you're right. I read it and I remembered it. Okay, so I'll give you another one.
Okay.
All right. Once again, slang term from England. You ever hear some girl say her prom dress is a bop? Or, excuse me, bomp, B-O-M-P. Is she saying, A, it's a dress that her mother disapproved of? B, it's stolen? C, it's too short and too low cut to be allowed at the prom? Or D, it's very expensive?
What was it? Did you say bomb?
Bomp, B-O-M-P, a bomp.
I am going to say expensive. It's going to be a play on pump, as in pomp and circumstance. And I just mispronounced on purpose like we do. Okay. So I'm going to go with expensive.
All right. Answer. Her prom dress is capital very expensive. So expensive she may not be able to afford underwear to wear with it. So.
Oh.
Interesting.
That makes for no problem, doesn't it? Right. 3-1, Brady.
I'm on a roll.
You are on a roll. All right, Todd. Slang from Australia. So you relay some good news to your Aussie friend, and they say, fair dinkum. F-A-I-R-D-I-N-K-U-M. Did they, A, just curse at you, B, tell you to eat a super hot dinkum pepper, C, wondering if you're being fair to them, or D, ask you if you're being honest with them?
I think they're asking if you're being honest with them.
Asking if you're being honest with them. Answer. Come back with a fair dinkum of your own. They're asking you if you're being honest.
Yeah.
Correct answer. All right. 3-2. Playing to 5. Win by 2. Brady?
Yes.
I need to bring up my comments. Dennis, welcome. Todd, that Phil Collins outfit should have the advantage in this game.
Todd coming back. This game is against the odds.
Nicely played.
So
I like
take
it.
a look at the score.
All right.
Oh, man.
Let's see. Todd. Whose question is this? I lost my place.
Mm-hmm. It's
Todd,
mine.
you? Okay. Slang from England. If your brother has a dummy in his mouth, what do we know about him? A, he's a baby with a pacifier. B, he's saying some stupid stuff. C, he's a paste eater. Or D, he's wearing braces.
Will you repeat the first two? Well, one of them was he has a pacifier.
First
What was
one,
the second
he's a
one?
baby with a pacifier. B, he's saying some stupid stuff.
Man, it's between A and B. So, part of me wants to go A because a dummy, as in like a dummy nipple, like a fake nipple. It makes sense.
Yeah,
What was the second one? One more time.
he's saying some stupid stuff.
See that. Man, I really think it should be A. Even if the answer is not A, it should be A because I've never thought of a pacifier as a dummy nipple.
Usually what we're saying, that's the nipple dummy.
It's a,
A dummy nipule.
it's a dummy nipple. It's a crash test dummy. It's a fill in for the real thing.
Real thing.
But I'm going to say B,
B.
saying something stupid.
Answer. You were going to say something else?
I was going to say that if that's the case, then I'm full of dummies.
So what we know about him is that he's a baby. A dummy is a pacifier.
Did you
So,
see the way I talked myself right out of that?
you should talk yourself out of. Go with your gut. Always. Test taking 101.
Damn.
So Brady can win here.
Going for it, man.
All right, John. I love what he brings to John. I keep saying this to you. I'm so glad you're here,
Welcome.
especially for this game. It says I'm struggling with this lot. You need to look at Carney rhyming slang as a form of
Cockney.
being-
Cockney.
It's Carney.
No, it's Cockney.
No, I don't think so.
What are you looking at?
It's not. It looks like that, but it's not pronounced that.
Oh, you sure?
Huh.
I'm positive. I'm fairly positive. John can correct me if I'm wrong, but
Well, farn that.
I thought it was Cockney, didn't you, Brady?
Yeah, I thought it was too.
rhyming slang as a form of English slang which originated in the East End of London. Again, this is our language. I think we're
Yeah.
just closet Brits. Raspberry equals raspberry tart equals fart.
Well, that makes sense. You make raspberry. You blow one.
As in blowing raspberries, making rasping noises with your mouth.
I never thought of that.
There you go.
I did always wonder where that
Wow.
came from, how that was considered a raspberry.
Yeah. So like skin and blister equals sister.
Like one of our isms.
Yes.
Capsicles.
So if I start calling my sisters my skin blisters, they should know exactly what I'm talking about.
Todd's right. I stand corrected.
Cockney.
Cockney. Okay. Well, I don't know. I thought for sure it was Carney. I had someone I heard that somewhere once. Apparently, I heard wrong. All right. Brady for the win. Todd to stay in the game. Slang from Australia. Wrigley wants to meet up a Sarvo. So that's spelled S''ARVO. What's she trying to tell you? A, she can't talk right now. Her head is stuck in a Barbie doll house. B, she'd like to get together and
that old chestnut.
yeah, right. I'm washing my hair. No, my head's stuck in a Barbie doll house. B, she'd like to get together in the afternoon. C, she wants to get together once you become a billionaire. D, she's starving. She wants to meet and eat meat immediately.
What was the first one, Eric?
She can't talk right now. Her head is stuck in a Barbie doll house.
And what was the second one?
She'd like to get together in the afternoon.
Could you read the original sentence one more time?
Wrigley wants to meet up Sarvo. What's she trying to tell you?
I mean, maybe I'm being boring here, but it seems like meet up in the afternoon is the only one that makes any sense at all. So I'm going to go with that.
Answer. She wants to meet up this afternoon, provided she can escape her mother.
Todd, you look irritated by that.
I dominated this game last time, and I was crap tonight.
Yes. All right, 5-2, our final. Brady.
Nice jab.
Yeah,
Thank you.
With the wing. All right, so going back to the comments.
Yeah, I can turn this back on now.
Yeah, John said, I think slang was used to avoid being overheard by policemen.
Kind of like in class when you cough, and say a cuss word so your teacher doesn't hear you.
So we're gonna go have a bite at the speakeasy, right? See? We're going to the speakeasy. Don't want the coppers to overhear us.
I would think with what go on John Go On is saying, that it would be kind of like, how does everyone know what all of the different word combinations and stuff stand for? I think it would be very, very difficult.
And it probably changes from one area of town to the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a Zach and Todd thing in high school, was just combining two words. You know what I mean? That was kind of the way we talked, and we kind of built a language off of it.
Apparently, subconsciously, you stole it. Because the Cockneys were doing it well before you were.
The Cockneys, yeah.
The Cockneys.
All right. Good show. Good.
Yeah.
That was excellent fun.
As always, thanks to our guests. You guys really make it all happen.
Yep. Speaking of guests, once again, 100th episode live studio audience, Sunday, June 5th, 5 to 8, Sons of Toil Brewing. Go to our Facebook page, look for the event. Tell us that you're coming.
And just for Dennis, I'm going to be wearing my Phil Collins outfit.
Yeah, better have that unshaven and unshorn look too.
Yeah, I like my newsboys. I never really thought of it being Phil Collins' outfit, but I can see it from the neck up.
In the air tonight.
There you go. All right. I want to remind you that the audio version of this show will come out on Friday morning at 3 a.m. You can get that at most anywhere you can find an audio podcast. Our biggest providers, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and the iHeartRadio app. And again, most anywhere you can find an audio podcast, we are probably there. Video-wise, will be archived on our YouTube channel. If you look up Play It By Your Podcast on YouTube. Also here on Facebook. We're archived there as well. And on Twitch.
Twins.
John was listening to us on Twitch, so good to have a Twitch listener viewer. Find our social media links on our website, www.playitbyyearpodcast.com. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagrams. You can interact with us via email, admin@playitbyyearpodcast.com. You can leave a voice message, and I will talk specifically about the iHeartRadio app. If you use that app, they now have a talkback feature where you can leave us a voice message using that feature. And again, it's just a click of a button, and it will be sent right to us. We're on the iHeartRadio app. So we'll get that message. We're still begging for one of those voice. John, leave us a voice message. We want to hear your voice because
yes,
the British accent. I'd love to hear it and put it into the show. Please do that.
Yeah.
I feel we need to shout out Joey again to Square Table Degenerates is going to be having Tommy Chong of Cheech and Chong fame on their podcast. So check them out. I think he said it was going to be
Monday
next week. Monday. Yeah.
Monday at 3 p.m. But I know their shows are archived on their Facebook channels as well. So if you look up Square Table Degenerates on Facebook, or excuse me, YouTube, I should say, that's where they are, and their shows are archived. So if you can't make it for the live version Monday at 3, you can catch that at a later time at your convenience. All right, gentlemen, anything else for the good of the order?
Nope. I think so. We're good.
All right. Once again, I want to echo what Todd said. Thanks, audience. You made this one a great one tonight. Great show. All right, take us out, Todd.
Peace. Take.
Thanks for listening to the Play It By Ear podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter @PlayItByEarPod2, and our website at anchor.fm/PlayItByEarPodcast. Thanks again, and join us next time as we play it by ear.